Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Video today is going to be a box review. Of course it's Sunday, so box review Sunday. Hadn't done one for a couple weeks. So anyway, we're going to cover the 1/25th scale red wheel 1937 Lincoln Zephyr. I've always loved those cars when I've seen them at the car shows and all, and when this thing came out I thought, well, I've got to get me one of these. So Red Wheels actually, they're 3D printed kits out of Ukraine, and I've actually got a 1948 Cadillac, which I've showed you a couple updates on. I still work on it off and on some. I haven't got quite to the point I just want to finish it, so I sort of work on it, put it to a side. And I also have a Tucker where I got from them, so I've got that one to do as well. But when I seen this Lincoln, I said, well, I've got to get this. So anyway, we're going to do a box review of it. It just came in a couple days ago. So anyway, we're going to turn the camera around and we're going to take a quick look at it. So with that, let's get building. Hey everybody, so again, welcome back to the channel. And like I said, we're going to do a box review of the 1/25th scale red wheel 1937 Lincoln Zephyr coupe. Like I said, this is the third one I've got from Red Wheel. I'm actually, as I said, working on a 48 Cadillac right now, and I also have the Tucker to do. And like I said, when this one came out, I've always loved these Lincoln Zephyrs, so I said I knew I had to have this one. So anyway, we're going to do a box review of it real quick and show you what comes in the box. This one's a little bit different from the Cadillac and the Tucker where I got. This one actually comes with a full engine. So anyway, so like I said, we'll be looking at that here in just a minute. And it also comes with hood hinges. They're photo etch, and I'll show you those here after a while too, looking at everything, so you've got to do all that. And when I ordered this, you had the option of ordering an extra engine and extra set of photo etch hood hinges. So I actually went on and ordered both of those extra. The engine I'm not too worried about. I think that'll be okay. But the hood hinges, being photo etch and small stuff, I thought I'd better have an extra set just in case something goes wrong on that thing, because it's some small stuff. So anyway, we'll look at it here in just a second. First thing I'll do, I'll show you the instruction book real quick and go over a couple things with that. Red Wheel always does a nice instruction book. Like I said, first thing up, they always give you the factory collars, original collar codes, and so forth. Here's the interior collars and all where you'll need to do the whole kit. Then of course, like I said, you'll pick your own body collar from the list. Then they give you a layout of all the parts that comes with the kit, everything. And these parts on here is what are shown after they're cut off the well, I guess if you want to call it the sprue or tree. Like I said, in 3D printing, I don't know if you actually refer to it as a tree or not. But we'll take a look at it here in just a second. It does come with some transparent parts. It's got a couple different size wires. It's got some brass tube, which is used for the hood hinges. It's got some pins. It's got some screws. I like the way they did the glass here on this kit versus the Tucker and the Cadillac, but I'll show you that here in just a second too. Of course, here's the photo etch layout. So anyway, real simple instruction book. There is a lot of parts, but there isn't compared to some kits. But anyway, we start with the chassis front end, and it shows piece by piece. And the way they do their kits, everything in the dark color is what you're adding to the previous assembly. So like the frame right here and all, that's not actually a previous assembly, but it is just one piece, which we'll look at in just a little bit. So everything dark colored is what you're adding, and then they show you how everything should end up right here. And then over here, we're working on the rear chassis. It talks about making sure install the rear axle on the frame only after the exhaust system. So you have to read the little red notes and all on here to make sure you're doing everything the correct order. But again, just look for all your dark colored parts and all. That's what you're adding. Let's see here, 3, 2, yeah. Then the 3 will be the interior. Work on the dash, and I can tell you, Red Wheels kits, their interiors are amazing. I have the interior done on the 48 Cadillac, and with a wood grain dash and all the chrome and all on it, and then the door panels. I tell you, it is just the way they do their interiors are super detailed and really look amazing when they're done. Then we're going to come over here to the engine. As you can see, it's multiple parts on the engine. We'll take, like I said, we'll look at everything here in just a minute. A really detailed engine for being 3D printed. They've broke a lot of the stuff down. Of course, these cars right here, you're not going to have a lot of stuff on one of those 30 model engines, 30s, 40s. Really wasn't a lot to the engines, but the Lincoln Zephyr, of course, was a little ahead of its time, so it had some stuff on it. I probably will do a little bit more detailing on here, add some plug wires, maybe something else going on or something like that, but we'll see when we get to it. Step 5, we're going to drop the engine down, finish up the interior, add the front seat and all that. Of course, you'll have to paint the interior floor of the top part of the chassis. Here we're going to add the PE. Got some PE right here. I think, yeah. And of course, the exhaust right here. Then over here on radiator hood hinges, of course, we're adding the radiator radiator hoses, upper and lower. And then right here's the assembly that I'm going to have to watch and be a little leery of, because it's you're going to have to just take your time, basically. It does come with a jig. Right here's the jig, and like I said, it is in the kit. And we'll take a look at the photo etch here in just a second. But I'll zoom up here, pull up here and zoom up. As you can see, this is the completed hood hinge. And basically you start with just some cut wire, some of the brass wire right there. And then just step by step you have to bend a couple pieces, and then you start putting all the pieces together. And everything goes in the jig, and basically you just put it piece by piece. It talks about soldering everything together instead of gluing it, soldering it. So again, that's something I'm not up on a lot, is the soldering on photo etch. So I may have to practice a little bit before I go at it. It looks like it'll be really simple once you get, because you got the jig. So again, it's just going to take some time and just work at it. Then we got the interior of the body. We're going to drop the dash up in there, steering column, steering wheel. Here's a interior trim piece for the inside of the car. Interior dome light, like clothes hanger right here in the corners where you hang coat, you know, like your suit coat or clothes on or something like that. Of course, rear view mirror, sun visors, and just some interior pieces that will have to go in. We come over here to the front end. I'll show you the grill here again here in just a little bit. This thing is really fragile. They've got it in, it was actually came inside the front of the car wrapped up so it wouldn't be laying loose in the box. Of course, we're going to add the front bumpers, attach the hood hinges right here. There's some pins. They look like little stick pins. You cut off, and then that's what holds the hood hinge on the firewall and so forth. You actually, they're showing right here solder joints on the windshield wipers. I'm not sure how that's going to go. There's some small stuff that have to be doing, just like the hood hinge. But anyway, like I said, we'll get into it. Adding the glass, front and side glass, of course door handles, Let's see here. Here's some the trim on the side of the fender, front fender. I'll show you those here in just a little bit too. Of course, we got the headlights, headlight bezels. Like I said, just all the front end stuff. Then we go to the rear, and pretty much the same thing. The bumpers, bumper supports, tail lights. Of course, the gas door with the rubber grommet around it. The license plate tag holder, which is right here, that's photo etch. And they show you a picture of how the completed rear of the car should look. Final assembly will be the, of course, the frame and undercarriage going up into the body. The gas tank back here, it actually covers up where the screw. There's a front and rear screw that holds the frame to the body. So the gas tank covers up the rear screw, and this front sort of pan, it covers up the front screw. So anyway, all that, it does just like the Cadillac car I worked on, and when I finish it up, I'll show you that. But there's a template, or like a little gauge right here, I guess, whatever you want to call it, that fits over the tire, and you can spray your white wall. So anyway, that's really nice, because that template, when it fits over, when you spray, obviously it's just going to spray the center part where the white wall is supposed to be. So that worked out great on the Cadillac car I'm working on. But then over here we add the wheel, trim rings, and then of course the hubcap, center cap, and that'll finish it up. So real quick, I'll show you the decals that came with the car. Pretty much some basic stuff. Let me turn it around here. I got some license tags, the lights, it looks like rear lights. I'm trying to hold it where I can see it and show y'all. Of course, the gauges for the dash, and a couple other detail items. I think they go on the engine. But anyway, there's the decal sheet. Not a lot of decals with it. Here's the glass where I was talking about, and in the Cadillac kit they sent you just a clear piece of glass, like it's back here. I don't know if you can see it shining or not, but anyway, it's been a little difficult cutting the glass out for the Cadillac. But on this Lincoln Zephyr, what they did, they put a decal with the cutouts for the glass over top of the plastic sheet. So now when you cut it out, you're not having to have it moving around on the glass and try to hold it and all that. So that's really, really good. I'm glad they did that. When I saw that, I was excited to see that. Here's a little bag. It's got some of the wire in it, some of the pins where I was talking about, one of the screws. The other one was actually holding the chassis on when it came in the box. So after I show it to you, I'll put that back together. But I'm not going to open up the bag. But as you can see, it's got pins and screws and some wire in it. Here's, if I can pick them up, I got a couple of them here. Here's the 3 pieces of brass wire that comes with it. Like I said, most of this right here is for the to use on the hood hinges. Obviously, it's not going to take all that to do the hood hinges, but I guess they give you enough to make sure that if you need to cut it, and when you do cut it, if you lose a piece, because it's some small stuff, and just gives you plenty to work with. Glad they did that. Here's the some of the photo etch, or actually all the photo etch. Here's the some of the side pieces that go on. Of course, the tags right there. Windshield wipers right here. I'll hold that. And the front pieces up here, honestly, I don't know. I'd have to look back in the instruction book. I don't remember what they were. And one thing I'll say about Red Bull, or sorry, not Red Bull, Red Wheel, had racing on my mind here. A lot of times they will give you extra parts. So some of this photo etch you're seeing, you don't obviously need all the pieces you see, and I'll show you on some of the parts as well. Here's the hood hinges where I was talking about, the photo etch sheet for that. Like I said, all of this is for and these little spacers down here go on the hood hinges and all. Obviously you're not going to need all this probably for the for the hood hinges, but they give you some extra, especially these down here being so small. So anyway, that's pretty neat right there. I'll show you the body and the chassis real quick. Red Wheel, they do a great job on their chassis. Not super detailed, but like I said, it's plenty good. We'll tape off and spray the underside, probably like red oxides, usually what I spray some of them, and then we'll tape off and spray the frame, all that, keep that good and black. The body, Red Wheel, their bodies are just amazing. That's all I can say about that. Like I said, it's definitely a Lincoln Zephyr. I love that long sweeping back end right here. But everything is good and crisp, slick. You do not get a lot of that where you see the lines and all in some 3D printing. But everything, their panel lines are good and crisp. I'll still go back and trim them out some, or dig them out a little bit. But even down in the, I don't know if you can see, like inside the fender wells right here, inside the fenders. But anyway, great kit right here. Now let's take a look at some of the parts. I'll show you the tire real quick. This is one of the tires. They are really rubbery. The good rubber tire. They're good and slick. I don't know if they print their own tires or what they do, but got Firestone on them, and any, you know, the markings for back would have been in 37. And like I said, the template, let's see if I can get it out here real quick. It's in a bag of parts. Anyway, I'm not going to, they give you two of them. I'm not going to take them apart right now. But anyway, this template just fits over the tire, just like this right here. And then what you do, you just airbrush your white. And of course, obviously, then it's going to hit right on the money for your wide white wall. So, but great tires, really good tires. Here's the inside seat, good solid seat. Going to be some chrome trim right here that I'm thinking is in the kit. I know it shows it on the instruction sheets. I don't know if it's a piece or if you just got to put some chrome foil or what. But anyway, good heavy seat. It's solid. Won't take no cleanup on this. Everything's good on that. We'll start with some of the parts here. This is the rear axle and drive shaft, and here's a couple of the front or rear suspension pieces. As you can see, everything comes, if you hadn't seen the video I did on the 48 Cadillac box review, everything is in these way it's 3D printed. Of course, all your 3D printing's got its supports and all that where you got to trim. But like I said, everything is in there. This looks like a couple pieces of the exhaust. Like I said, a couple other suspension parts, and then of course, like I said, the rear axle. Let's see here. Here's some more of the exhaust. Let's see if I hold it down here, maybe zoom in. Got a little bit better light down here. Yeah. So anyway, that's the exhaust. A couple other suspension pieces again right here. Like that. It's hard to see when everything's so close up in these little squares. But that helps protect it a whole lot. Here's the rear springs, and let's see here, what else? Let me take a look here real quick. Yes, this is part of the rear suspension right here. They got one of the supports for right here, and then of course your two rear springs, and over here is another one of the rear pieces that goes in the suspension right here that I saw ran across. So there's that. Real quick, here's the front headlights and rear tail lights. Again, I don't ever take my glass out of the bag. I'm afraid it'll get scratched up, especially on this 3D stuff. So I'm not going to take that out. Here, real quick, is the front grille where I was talking about. And like I said, this thing has got a ton of supports on it, but I don't know if you can see. I'll try to zoom in some. It's about as far as I can zoom it. But this grill right here, the little slats in it, they are detailed. Like I said, this thing is going to be fragile when you go to cut it loose, so I've really got to be careful when you go to do it. And actually, when you go to paint this thing, you're going to have to be careful spraying it too, so you don't have buildup in between the little grill slats and all. But it's going to look great once it's on there. Here's the engine, or most of the engine right here. I'll take it out of the bag real quick. Of course, got the engine block right here. Crisp, good, looks good, everything. Here's the oil pan. The underside of the, get it down here in the light, underside of the engine and all right here. Let's see, here's the top valve covers. Let's see here, I'll try to hold them like this where you can see them. There's the valve covers on each side. Really look good, again, really crisp. Here's the rear part of the engine, like part of the transmission, so to speak, area. And then of course right here is the top manifold, right there. Like I said, and then of course the carburetor is going to be in here somewhere on one of these other pieces. Let me throw this in here real quick, guys. Don't want to lose nothing here. Lay that to a side. Here's a couple more of the parts pieces. This looks like headlight bezels. Here's some more parts of the engine right here. Let's see here. Here's some mirrors, outside rear view mirror. Here's that interior trim piece right here where I was talking about earlier on the instruction sheet. We've got some horns, and of course a steering wheel, exhaust manifolds where they'll come off the side of the engine. Here's a mirror right here on the front side right here. And like I said, what I was talking about, like here's 3 front headlight bezels. They give you 3, but obviously you only need 2, so you've got an extra one. So anything they can get an extra in, just like your horns right here, you're not going to need 3, but they give you 3. The mirrors, they know they're really fragile. That's what I'm running into on that Cadillac, is using a couple of the extra ones because they were so fragile when you go to trim them. But anyway, there's that. Here's some more of the, here's the pulleys and the fan belt for the engine. Here's the fan. Let's see here. Here's some of the front suspension pieces. Here's some rear suspension, part of the brake system and so forth. Another piece, I think that's like a oil reservoir on the engine. We got some couple more pieces up here. I think, let's see, I'm not going to say till I look at the instruction book. Here's the oil breather for the engine and so forth. Here's the bumper supports. And as you can see, there's 8 of them. You only need 4, so again, you've got 2 extra of those on front and back. So anyway, some of the small parts right there. Here's another tree that's got, I don't know if you can see or not, but it is some super small pieces right there that have to be cut off. And as you can see, they give you a bunch of them, and I'm not sure what they are till I look in. I'm going to assume some of the interior pieces, the interior knobs on the dash and all. That's the way the Cadillac was. And anyway, super small stuff, so I know there's a bunch of them there because they're going to go flying if you're not careful. Again, some more door handles. Sorry about that, guys. Door handles and window cranks and so forth for the interior. Let's see here. Looks like door rests, or like arm rests for the doors on the inside. And let's see here. Looks like maybe another part of the suspension or something. there. Like I said, I'm trying to look at parts on the fly here, guys, so sorry about that. I'm not recognizing some of it just right offhand. Being on the supports, it's hard to tell what it might be. Let's see here. This one I definitely know what it is. It's the wheels. And again, you can tell they are really good wheels, crisp, engraving. Let's see here. These are the trim rings right here and the center caps. It looks like a wheel, but there's actually a center cap and then 2 trim rings. So there's basically 3 pieces on each one of these on this side where you've got to cut loose, and then the trim ring will fit like an outer trim ring, an inner trim ring, and then of course the center cap. So that will take a little bit of time. Here is some of that side piece I was talking about on the body that will have to be chrome. There's 4 of them right there. Obviously we only need 2 of them. As I said, you get some extra. Right here is a bag full of stuff, and I'm going to pour this out. I saved this bag to last. I didn't want to pour this stuff out till I was getting ready to show it, because I pretty much will end the video short after this. But anyway, here's the 2 doors. Inside, you know, here's the outside. Well, this actually glue inside the car. Sorry about that, guys. But here's the inside door panels. As you can see, they're engraved. Of course, some of this stuff is wood grain on the 30 model cars, and then of course you can see where the door handles and window cranks and all will go. So there's your 2 doors. Here's your hood. It's molded in gray. Real clean underneath. You know, all of us are used to having to sand out push pin marks and so forth. Not going to be no cleanup under here, and you can see where the hood hinges attach right there. Let's see here, right here in the corners. Let's see here. I'll turn this piece over. This is like a rear shelf right here. Goes towards like your back window area, so forth. And here's your dash. As you can see, a lot of detail to the dash already, but like the Cadillac, as I was talking about, there's a lot of chrome features that go around the decals for the gauges and so forth, and the radio and so forth. And like I said, there's a lot of knobs. Every little radio and not everything, it was a knob on this car. There's actually a over here to the side. Here's the gas tank where I was talking about towards the end of the assembly that covers up the rear attachment screw. Front shield right here where it covers up the other screw. Let's see here. Here's one of the bumpers right here. And let's see, here will be the other bumper. We got the front and rear bumpers right here. There they are. They'll have to be cut, of course, trimmed off the supports, trimmed up and smoothed up, and then get some black on them, and then get some chrome on them. Here is the little assembly jig for the hood hinges where I was talking about. As you can see, it's got little holes in it, and then of course it's got cutouts for the photo etch to sit in. So that's what that'll be. And let's see, we're knocking it down here, guys. Here's I think these are engine pieces or suspension. Honestly, I have to, but it sort of looks like long barrel type stuff. Again, without looking in the instruction book, just offhand, I'm not sure what this two pieces will be, but we'll find out. And of course, here's the inner wheels. Got you know, for your tie rod. Got your tie rods for your excuse me, for all your steering and all that. Here's the rear brakes right here, or part of the rear brake, as I would talk about. Obviously, here's some suspension pieces, frame supports, and then of course I think this would be the engine support right here, where the engine is set on. This will go between the frame. Here's another piece where the exhaust runs through. already. Sorry about that, guys. I keep looking at it and trying to watch the camera too. But anyway, this would be like a center support. As you can see where the drive shaft will run through right there. And let's see here. Getting down the last couple pieces. Honestly, again, I'm not sure what these two pieces will be. I wasn't paying when we was going through the instruction book. Maybe an axle type thing. I'm not sure, but again, I'm not sure what those are, but we will look at them when we get to building it for sure. So anyway, just wanted to do a quick video here today, show you the inbox review of this 37. Again, 37 Lincoln Zephyr. Zoom out here just a little bit, guys. And anyway, looks to be a great kit. Like I said, these kits are always super detailed, super nice. But you just got to take your time cutting pieces off. Like I said, some of these parts are super thin and delicate. And you just got to take your time to make sure it turns out good. You can't, this definitely will not be one of my 24 or 48 hour build projects for sure. So anyway, with that, appreciate all the comments, the likes, the thumbs up. Appreciate again seeing everybody at the shows. We've got a couple more coming up before IPMS Nationals up in Indiana this year, so hope to see some of you there. But anyway, with that, let's get building.